All praise due to the people of the struggle. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power, peace and power. What's good? Salute, salute. Now, hold on. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Peace and power, peace and power. Hold on. Give me a second. Gotta make sure my Wi-Fi is on. Come on, man. What you doing? I know what you're doing. Just chill out. Just chill out. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, okay. Hold on. Peace and power. What up, y'all? What up? What up? Peace, knife. The truth. Peace, 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 peace. Colleen, what up? Julia Graham, what up, what up? Joel, what's good, what's good? Somebody get my Cash App, moderators, the Cash App, please. Put the Cash App. Doggy's good. RP Ace, what up, what up? EC, what up, what up? Kenny Matt. Chocolate City, what up? T, what up, what up? What up, what up? Yeah, I'm saying I gotta do this more often because again, yo, I ain't trying to be funny, but I don't get no income tax. I'm not one who gets income tax, so I got to promote my service. Anybody need counseling, life coaching, anger management services, going through a DV situation, a mentorship, hit me up for a $50 assessment, right? And $30 an hour per session to get your mind right. So I got to be on more often. Yeah, T, because you don't own nothing. And you shouldn't look for it. We don't look for them to give us nothing. If we don't work, we don't eat. Simple as that. So we work for ourselves. You dig, Anthony Hill? What up? But you're going to have to excuse me. I'm moving around because I am cooking dinner. I am cooking dinner right now. Well, at least prepping. Because it's already, damn, it's 3:45. Man, I'm not even sure if I'm going to get into this that deep. But I wanted to get into this A.J. Johnson situation. I really wanted to. Damn, in 3 joints? Yo, they might owe you a pretty penny. So see what you can get from them. I don't get shit. Black is power, salute, salute. I wanted to get in this A.J. Johnson situation. Me and one of our supporters, Ms. Lampkin. I will shout her out. Ms. Lampkin. Salute, salute. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you, thank you. And V, thank you. So, we got into it. She questioned me about it, and I said, I don't see the big deal, right? With this threesome for a 50-year-old. Okay? Again, I usually stay away from the conversation. Why? Because I do believe it's very, very personal. And as a leader, I don't want people to make the assumption that, you can know what's going on in my underwear for, just to keep it clean. All right? Y'all don't need to know about me that deep. All right? But I have to address it. And I may address it in this short span of time, because like I said, I'm cooking. Excuse me, I am cooking. I do have my pots on, and I gotta watch my sauce so I don't overdo it. But I would like to address that situation. I'm not sure if the queen is on, if Ms. Lampkin is with us, but she will always watch the playback. right? And it's definitely question and answer session. Um, I will definitely do that. But let's take it for what it is, right? And what people believe polygamy is, what people believe monogamy is, and just sexuality in period in the context, and how it relates to us and what we are doing, especially in 2020, right? I didn't watch the entire interview because I really can't take Angela Yee. I think she's fake as hell. I really do. You could see the journalism in her. You could also see the leading questions, and you could just read the eyes, and I dislike that so much. That's why I really like how our comrade interviews people. I just love watching Doggy Diamonds. Primo, what up? I love his style, and I watch a lot of people in the interview format, from uh, Tony Brown to Tavis to Ed Bradley to Larry King. All of them, none of them touch Doggy Diamonds. And I'm dead serious, man. I love the comrade, man. The way he gives it up. It's just no other person who interviews people the way he does, man. Effortlessly, with integrity. He knows specifically where he wants them to go. He asks them what he wants answered, and is always entertaining, is pleasant. So I really didn't watch the entire interview, but I did watch the spaces that has been going viral, and certain things bothered me about what was said and how people perceived it, which I always tell all of you. You don't know how people perceive you. And that is why you must live in your own honesty. Because one, you cannot change people's mind. Once that perception is in there, unless you really work hard on it and allow people to see your actions. Okay? So, two things that bothered me. The main thing being her age, which is rather young, if you really want to know, especially when it comes to Black women and sexuality. And I'll get to that point in a minute. And I want to remind y'all, yes, today's Thursday, which means you only got a few more days. Sunday's my born day. I'm just throwing it out there. Sunday's my born day. All right? So for somebody being over 50, I'm very, very qualified to speak on sexuality. Having been known to have sired more than a few handful young and mature lasses, I should say so myself. All right, yeah, definitely. That's right. Happy born to Aquarius Power. Someone who has been around many blocks more than a few times, right? The way they put emphasis on her age, and the way that they made her seem like she should be shamed for the act. Salute, man. Right? So, thank you, princess. Yeah. Look, no, man, save it. I definitely expect to hear from you all Sunday. Nah, Nah, no, Maxwell's is closed, baby girl. You couldn't say. And I never liked that cake to begin with. I'm going to keep it a buck. I really thought it was a little bit dry. I didn't dig it. But thank you. Thank you. Most definitely thank you. Thank you. Right? So let's speak on the age, right? 50 years old, and that's what she said. It happened when she was 50. I do believe she's older. If we're not the same age, she may be older than me by a year or two, right? And women exploring their sexuality and their options, and being confident enough to say it. Now, it's suspect that you allowing us to know this about you at this stage in your career. Seems a little bit clout chasers to me. Just a little bit, because we didn't need to know that about you at all. We didn't need to know that about you. So that was a little bit, especially on that large platform, right? So I thought that was a little disingenuous. It was a little suspect to me. I'm gonna keep it honest. We didn't need to know that about you. But it was said. 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old. Listen, as long as you could get it in, get it in. Again, when you're talking about sexuality, when you're talking about humans and our expression and our pleasure zones, it doesn't go out until it goes out. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Look, as long as it's popping, as long as you doing what you do, as long as you getting pleasure, there's no age limit. There's no age limit on that. And yes, let me go back because who was it? Yeah, Mrs. Matthews made a very good point. 40s, women is in their prime. 20s, right? Biology teacher said men in their prime. I don't know about the 20s, men in their prime. I don't know about that. All right? I will say this. Yeah, and keep that cash app popping. That's right, Big Mark. Keep it popping. People been slacking. And after having knowledge of a conversation that Mr. Hassan Campbell said, he was getting it and still getting it. So, listen, it's unheard of for me. That's the way some of these people on YouTube is making this bread and not teaching anybody anything. I'm serious. And I come through and I'm telling you, our shit is just dismal to the point of where you have to be specific about it. But anyway, and if you think they don't get money, these people are getting plenty money. Oh my goodness, the numbers were staggering if you would actually know. We'll get into that later too. But let's take for instance someone who, and especially black women, who are taught from the very beginning to have shame, not only over their looks, but their bodies, size, shape, and how to feel. They do a number on us as a people in general, but at black women specifically. Why? Because the black woman is I always speak to Bullets. Bullets ain't nobody to speak to, and nah, I doubt me and Hassan will ever do anything. I doubt that at all, right? Um, there is a fear of us loving each other as a people, and there is definitely a fear of men and women, right? Our men and women specifically loving each other and giving each other pleasure. So, there's a stigma with it. And because of that stigma, because of the torture, because of the abuse we receive from it, there's a mentality that goes along with it and a sort of rejection of giving each other 1000% of what we could give to each other because we worrying about others. So women in their sexuality, especially our women, right, have been taught through an inherited mentality and belief that they should not feel pleasure, that they should not be forthright and outgoing when it comes to receiving pleasure and receiving love, and both, right? Even though, again, we've been taught to separate that. It's been a forced belief, a forced teaching. You understand? A forced teaching of that. And excuse me, right? A forced teaching of it. And a forced separation. So you separate the love, you separate the sex. So now we're struggling, and all through our time here, while these people have established their government, established their traditions, established their dominance, their holidays, their doctrines, while they're establishing themselves, they're also making sure that we don't get a footing and we don't receive any benefits that comes from that. So a woman always, from little, and I can see it even now in the schools with the young people, as young as in elementary school, where now you're being forced and told how you should feel, who you are, right? And things like that. It's crazy. So a woman has to learn. Where does she learn from? Some are confident and they learn from their own self, what they like to feel, through any means. We have so many means now as far as visual aids, as far as books, as far as, group discussions that they didn't have when we was coming up, AJ and I. Nah, and it really was frowned upon. You really didn't speak about that with your parents or with the old generation. You either learn from books, paper magazines, right? Or, because even porn industry wasn't like that. If you weren't in major cities where they had what we used to call these nasty movie theaters, where they had X-rated, you didn't learn until your first experiences. Or unfortunately, you were abused. And most of us, when you look at the ages and things of that nature, were, susceptible to abuse or were abused, right? Whether it be the opposite sex at opposite ages or same sex or whatever, some type of trauma. You understand? So women had to learn to be liberated and grow into their own with that. In 2022, it's all over the place. Right? We are now in a space where we have, hold on for a second. Let me turn these pots off before I burn my sauce. We're in a space now where anything goes. The people, the children are overstimulated. They have too much information. It's just out of control. And one thing, me, as a liberator, one who knows that we have to be in an equitable space with our women, that there can be no judgment. You understand? And what's good for one has to be good for the other. That's just what revolutionary love is. All right? That's what revolutionary love is. That's what being a liberator is. You get what I'm saying? So if it's good for us as men in a specific space, it has to be good for women as well. If it's not, we risk taking on the chauvinistic behaviors, the chauvinistic ideologies of our oppressors, who we all claim we don't want anything to deal with. We don't want to do or deal with them in any form or fashion because it has been a detriment to us. So why would we live under the doctrine of white supremacy, say that we want to be free of it, work to liberate ourselves from it, but then place our women under the same conditions that they did? So when women speak freely about their sexuality, when women speak freely about their experiences, should be no judgment. None at all. If we're dealing with a mature and intelligent mind. Get what I'm saying? Especially when it comes from women of a particular age. There's more teaching, right? And again, educational moments that could come from somebody, excuse me, who has been there and done that, than somebody who hasn't. Because when you haven't participated in a specific lifestyle, when you haven't sat in somebody else's shoes, when you haven't even had the concept to think outside of the boxes that you were placed in by your oppressor, you should be quiet. Understand me. You should be quiet, learn, and listen. Now again, what I found suspect about it was the platform in which she chose to express it in. All right? Because we know that that is like one of the top platforms, one of the number one platforms, if not the number one platform nationally, at least amongst us, and of a specific generation and of a hip hop culture. You dig? That is the issue that I had, and the timing of it. In the timing of it, notice how this year specifically, during this month specifically, we're seeing and witnessing all type of ignorance, all type of outlandish, all type of gotcha moments. So the timing of it is a little sus. The platform was a little sus. You understand? Will she have a repeat of that same conversation on the red table? Listen to what I'm saying. You heard it here first. Is there going to be a repeat of that conversation on the red table, and then on the real, if that's still around, and then maybe on the talk because of who she is, and then next thing we know, she may have another show lined up somewhere where she going to get top billing on? That's the only thing that's suspect about it, as far as I'm concerned. The age, again, black women have always been taught to feel shame about their body, to feel shame about sexuality, to feel shame about wanting and claiming love. Now, when somebody is 50, she's been, Mrs. Matthews, she's definitely been a life coach and a fitness trainer for, I don't know, at least 20 years. 25, maybe. She's been doing that. So she's been ahead of the game for a long time. Long time. All right? So now, with all of that, there's a lot of women, especially our women, who first sexual experience is one from abuse, or is one in which they didn't have the overall power to say when and where and how and what. And if they're first, and I'm going to, since I am of a certain age, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. I know it may be younger, but I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. When I was coming up, the average age when you really, were engaged or had that feeling and stuff like that was about 17, 18. I do know a lot of my peers was already having children at that age. Some may have started a couple of years earlier, but I'm being reasonable and generous with saying maybe 17, 18. And if a woman's first sexual experience at that time wasn't right, kind of clumsy, she didn't know how to enjoy, how to be pleasured, what to ask for, what to do. So she might have not done it again until about 20, 21, 22. All right? And then you fumble along the way. I know back when we came up, if a woman had more than 3 or 4 individuals that she had that experience with by a certain age, she was definitely chastised, vilified, called all type of names in the hood. So women tried to keep, their numbers low, and definitely was in a space where they had to trust whoever they were with because they didn't want that tag. Now it's out of control. Trust and believe. Way out of control right now. So again, say a woman had a couple of experiences and maybe now 25, 26 and don't have children. You understand? And give or take, look at what she was doing. She was already in the industry and already geared to move in a certain way. So what if she had her first, and I'm be generous, right? Because I've known women to this day who I counsel who have not had an orgasm, period. And they may be 40, 45. So maybe she didn't get the full essence of her sexuality until a certain age. Just for instance, like a lot of our women didn't have it. So she gets to a space now where she knows exactly what she wants, how she wants it, and with whom she wants it from. And that age just happened to be 50 and happened to be in a situation where these are two men who she trusted. She had to trust them because we haven't heard about it. So they had to be, in her space, good dudes. Because she's not a quote unquote nobody. She's in the industry. And I'm sure in this day and age of social media, dudes could have definitely sold that story. You understand what I'm saying? Unless it happened last week before she did the interview, just happened. Nah, like I said, I believe she's my age, maybe older. If she's younger than me, I'll be surprised. Well, excuse me. So again, she had the experience. She said she enjoyed it. No telling from these individuals, they didn't say anything, but maybe they enjoyed it as well. You understand? However, the fact of the matter is, when you still try to dehumanize her, when you try to, and not try to, when you attack her femininity, when you try to, and I'm not gonna say try to because I don't know how she feel about what's being said, chop her down by saying, oh, it was a train ran on her, and just all type of vile things that I've been reading that I won't repeat. It shows the lack of maturity and the reason why a lot of the black women, our women, don't trust us in their most intimate moments because of that, because of what's being said. You understand? This is why we have no connection with our women. Because when they do express themselves, when they do speak their truth, when they do want to explore and believe that they're in a space that's comfortable and safe, you get this. And to me, it's just that's some sucker shit. It just is. Because with all of the movies, with all of the culture, the music, the books, with all that, where you can have men talking about being with 2, maybe 3 women and popping off and using pills and doing all type of craziness, right? When you can have all that for generations and generations because you yourself have learned that type of behavior from white supremacy, it's a contradiction. It's a big contradiction. So again, we get into another space where, right, our woman can look at us sideways. And again, another layer of trust is broken. This continuously happens. Continuous. This is a continuous pattern. So how are we ever going to get to a space where we get our women, our queens back on our side? Financially and within the status of the Euros, they doing better. And we chastise them for that and cut them down for that. Right? Sexually, you abuse them right? This has been the face of the abuser for a long time. At first, our women were fearful of our enslavers, of our oppressors, because of their overt brutality. That was the face. Now, we have become the face. We've become the abusers. We have been the ones who have been shown over and over again on the news killing children, killing the women, beating the children, raping. So sexually, they out of here. And then when they do express themselves or live out what they need, you mentally attack them with your verbiage. So now we don't have anything. We don't. Where do we connect? Where do we build? Because every step of the way, there's doctrines that you are trying to force upon them that have been forced upon you. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think you follow it. What's good for one has to be good for the other on the path to liberation. If I pick up my hammer to get busy, she got to be able to pick up her hammer and get busy. If I can talk about I want to live in a polygamous space, then it is also good for her to live in a polygamous space. If not, I risk being contradictory. And if I'm living and walking in contradiction, I can never be able to walk in the path of liberation. So as we keep playing these games on social media, living without a purpose, living without a true understanding of what's being placed in front of us and how we react to it, we're going to continuously be stuck in a bubble and fail to make any gains. I'm just saying. Do you hear me? I don't know. I don't know if y'all hear me. What's good for one has to be good for the other. So how do we move forward if we do not have the trust of each other? If we cannot stand naked in front of each other? If we cannot be vulnerable in front of each other? How do we be able to be in a foxhole with each other? How will we be able to fight with each other? Because we have to, in order to win, do some of the most outlandish shit to our enemies and be able to trust that it stays amongst us. So if you don't have your queen on your side, if you don't have this black woman by your side, if you don't have this ultimate warrior goddess on your side, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. It's just that simple. I mean, I think it makes sense. It should be simple. It should be very simple. I don't know. I don't know. Is it that complicated? Is it that complex? I didn't think it was complex. If it's good for you, it got to be good for your woman. If it's bad for you, it has to be bad for your woman. There's no in between and no gray area. You cannot oppress your woman and think that you're going to walk a path to liberation. How? How? And who says that the doctrine of polygamy is one that is only appreciated by the male gender? Somebody go get me the notes on that. Somebody go get me the doctrine. Somebody go get me the paperwork on that. Who said that's only for men? Who said it's only for men? Let me know. When you out there, you're practicing polygamy, poly or whatever, who says, where's the doctrine that says this is a male-only club? I'll wait. Where's it at? Y'all got all the other paperwork. Y'all got all the other books. You come with your Bibles. You come with your Qurans. You come with your Torahs. You come with your Egyptian Book of the Dead. You come with all these books and doctrines and facts and all. Where's the paperwork on that? Show me where it says this is men only. I'll wait. So if you can't find it, and if it isn't in there, when women practice it, and they want 2 husbands and 3 husbands and whatever, who are you to call them out? I'll wait. Like I said, man, I'm cooking dinner. I don't have time for the bullshit. Leave this black woman alone. Again, the only thing that was suspect is where she did it, who she spoke in front of. You dig what I'm saying? Where was the interview? Who was conducting the interview? How it was pushed out to us. It's the only thing that's suspect, the timing of it. But who she is, how she expressed she enjoyed it, her age, none of that should ever be a question. Ever. If you're really dealing with higher intelligent thinking and maturity. You won't get the chili recipe. You got to DM me for that and be nice. All right, so look, I got moves to make. I can't be, here with y'all. I may come back a little later on. I know we didn't give y'all a 10-minute tick of the day, but we working on it. We working on it. Understand? We working on it. Salute, Derek. What's good? My mods, my moderators, y'all already know how it is. Y'all already know what I do. Chop it up if you want. Screen record if you want. Share it if you want. But y'all stop playing with these other individuals. Do I eat chili with crackers or cornbread? I eat chili with rice. I eat chili with rice. I hope that meal come out proper. All it is a spaghetti. That's what it is, it's spaghetti. Yeah. Oh, I cooks, I do it all. Trust and believe. I'm not no YouTuber, podcaster. Now, this is just something I'm doing. You dig what I'm saying? This is just things that I do. And, again, only, can, want to be appreciated in these teachable moments. You never heard who? I never heard a man in the so-called conscious community say he's sharing wife with another man. Maybe the conscious community ain't where you're supposed to be. Simple as that. Maybe the conscious community that you've been following been wrong. Maybe you need to come from a military perspective. Maybe you need to go and follow some other doctrines, because sexuality and how we express it has nothing to do with us getting liberated. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. Because when Whitey on your ass, you keep playing these games that you playing, and you're going to be dead in the foxhole. See, that's the thing. Our people worry about our phalluses too much and not about the attacks that the enemy is giving us. Everybody looking for somebody to hump, something to drink, something to put on their raggedy ass, and something to drive. Well, Whitey's talking about positioning himself all around the borders and in schools and in healthcare to kill your maggot ass. Our sexuality has nothing to do with our liberation. So if the conscious community is worrying about sexuality, their ass is done off. Their ass is taking on what the oppressor did, because the oppressor was worried about our sexuality because he didn't want us to birth another nation. And when you take on the beliefs of your oppressor, you done off. You done off. So it doesn't matter who you humping. I don't care who you humping. As long as it ain't no babies. Don't matter. Really don't. Simple as that. I'm about liberating our people. That's what I'm about. Liberation. I ain't seen one of our leaders yet give up some grippers and get us up out of this situation. Therefore, that shit don't matter. Don't matter. That's the thing. They got people believing that it matters. That's why every other article is about what she got on or she don't got on. What he doing, what he not doing. What be you? Who he laying with? How many kids he got? Oh, her ass is this fat. Well, her waist is that trim. And we still stuck looking stupid with our kids not getting shit. Miseducated. A healthcare system that's dependent on your enemy to take care of you. A financial system that continuously starves you of basic resources. But all you worrying about is who humping who. Please. Please. Let that sister get 2 or 3 men's if she want. I wouldn't give a damn. I wouldn't give a damn. Go get it. Go get it. If she could have one rubbing her feet and the other one making her a sandwich while she got a goddamn switch waiting to tear somebody's ass up if they act up, so be it. That's their situation. The hell you worrying about it for? If you really are liberating, you got a task and a mission. What you worrying about it for? Get her thing. Go get your thing. Get your thing off, girl. If you ain't safe, it's gonna bite you in your ass. Somebody put something in her gripper that's diseased and sick, that's on her. We ain't up to us to worry about it and chastise it, as long as it ain't no minors. Simple as that. But if you think I'm bullshitting, if you think you're going to question my position, make sure you come with absolute facts. Make sure you come with a doctrine that says and backs up the same thing you're saying, because I ain't seen it. I've studied a lot. I've yet to see where men, the male gender, is the only one who is supposed to be the beneficiary of polygamy. Haven't seen it. And if you do see it, I want to see the originator of that doctrine. If not, let these women do their thing. Let them do their thing. Only in equity and in the practice of equity can you truly be a liberator. If you ain't practicing equity and equality, oh, that sauce is off, Smith. That shit is off. I'll turn it back on when I get back. Yup, Cash App and shit. That's right. That's right. Oh, y'all got the right one. I ain't with the bullshit. I tell it how it is. I'm coming from absolute truth. Science and math. Science and math. So again, I love my people. You ain't got to believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. And, you know, don't be stingy. Look, don't be stingy. If any week you don't want to be stingy as this week. God damn it, Aquarius power is in the full effect. Don't be tight now. Let it go. And damn your Valentine. Because I guarantee you, your Valentine can't give you what I can give you. Peace and power.